it's Carol with Carol B Crafts with the number 4 in my That's the Tag April 2017 online class. If you'd like the details on how you can participate in my class, check out my website at www.carolbcrafts.com. We'll be making 2 cards and 2 tags. And this is an anniversary wishes card, but you could, if you had other sentiments that would fit there, you could make it into any type of card that you wanted. The sentiment comes from the Falling for You stamp set, and it's anniversary wishes. And there's several sentiments that you can put on the inside of your card as well. The dies that we'll be using are from the Timeless Tags Thinlits dies. We'll be using the regular oval, the butterfly die, and the flower oval as well. In your kit, you will find 4 strips of 6-inch strips of sweet sugar plum ribbon, ruched ribbon, 3 pieces of the silicone release paper, 2 Very Vanilla card bases, and 2 DSP Falling in Love DSP card fronts. You'll also see that you have 2 embossed pieces of sweet sugar plum, and that is from the Softly Falling embossing folder. You'll have 4 pieces of Whisper White to help you with your stamping the sentiment. I gave you 2 extra pieces. You'll see that you have 2 of the smallest metal rimmed pearls and 2 Very Vanilla bitty butterflies and 2 sweet sugar plum butterflies. The butterflies are from the Bitty Butterfly Punch. For our die cuts, you'll see that you have 2 pieces of sweet sugar plum cardstock, 2 for the solid, 2 for the floral, as well as 2 pieces of Very Vanilla. And those 2 are 2 for solid and 2 for the floral. And lastly, you'll have a small piece of Very Vanilla and a small piece of sweet sugar plum. Those are for your butterflies, and you'll need to cut them in the corners. You'll need 1 in this corner and 1 in that corner so that you have enough cardstock for both cards. I'll only be doing 1 card with you on video, but you can do 2 as we follow along. You'll need your sweet sugar plum ink and your anniversary wishes stamp. And I have this on a D block, but if you have an H block, it would probably fit better on an H block. But I think more people have the D block, so I'm going to use the D block. And we're going to stamp this. We need to leave, in order to fit our butterflies on the end, we need to have just less than 1/4 of an inch. Have our A just less than 1/4 of an inch from the edge right here. And if you don't like it, you can always turn it over and do it again. And that's why I gave you an extra piece of cardstock. Okay, I like that one better. So if you want to stamp a sentiment on the inside, this would be the time to do that. Now we're ready to put our card together, and we're going to put some snail on the back of our Falling in Love DSP. So we have that. We have our DSP on there. Then next, we're going to put our embossed piece of Sweet Sugar Plum, and we want it about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom of our DSP, and we want the right side flush with the DSP, leaving a space over here. Now we'll put our anniversary wishes on. It's going to go about 1/8 of an inch above the bottom of the Sweet Sugar Plum. We'll go ahead and put our itty bitty butterflies on and we're going to do that with glue dots. The Very Vanilla is going to be on the bottom. So we'll take our glue dots. We'll put the Sweet Sugar Plum on top of the Very Vanilla, and we're going to offset it just a little bit. We don't want it to be perfectly even, so I'm just going to offset it just a tiny bit. You can see there that part of the Very Vanilla is showing there and on the side. Then we're going to put it on our card. I'll use 2 glue dots for that. And I want it to be about right there, but I don't want it to go over the side of the card. Now we'll use our piercing tool to put on our metal rimmed pearl. And we'll just put that in the center of the butterfly. Now that we have this part done, we're ready to do our die cutting. So first we're going to die cut 2 solid vanilla and 2 solid Sweet Sugar Plum. You'll see that the cuts have to be pretty close together in order to fit 2 of them on the piece of cardstock that you have. Okay, my video stopped, so I had to reset it. Next we'll be doing the flower, and you have 2 choices. You can use either snail on the back and then use silicone release paper, and that will put adhesive on the back of your flower die, or you can just run it through regular like this and then use the multi-purpose glue to glue it down to your oval. I'm going to do it both ways so you can see the difference. The first one we'll do the Sweet Sugar Plum. You'll take your snail adhesive, and since I'm only doing half, I'm only going to do half of my cardstock with adhesive. Some people think this wastes adhesive, so if you don't want to do that, that's your preference. The waxy side, not the slick, silky side, but the waxy feeling side goes against your adhesive. And then you put your die on the front and you run it through the Big Shot. And this is how it comes out. And I just use the back of my piercing tool to take it out. Sometimes it comes out easily and sometimes it doesn't. It just depends. So I'm going to punch out all these little pieces. It can get kind of sticky. Once you get all the little pieces out, then you're going to get an opposite color. So we need a very vanilla. And this doesn't fit perfectly. As you can see, there's just a tiny little bit of edge around. So make sure that you allow for that when you're putting it on your base here. Okay, there we have this one. Now we'll do the other one. I will do with the glue, so you can kind of see how that one works. So the next one I'm going to do, this is going to be on my card front, and this one is going to be a tag. So I'm not going to put any adhesive on it. I'm just going to run it through like this. Now I'll take it out of the die. Now I'm going to turn it over and get my glue, and I'm going to use tiny little dots of glue, just ever so small. Now I'm going to take it and put it on my card base, on the base, and I'm just remembering to leave that small space around the edge. And you can see I have some, glue. So this is why I don't like to do the glue. I never, it can be very messy. Can always turn it over. Use the other side. Okay, that looks better. When this dries, I can rub it off so that it's not sticky on the back. But you can see the difference. You can see why I prefer to use the silicone release paper. Alright, so now that we have these two done, we need to do our butterflies, and those definitely work better with the silicone release paper. So I'm going to put snail adhesive all along the back. And remember, you're going to need this for two. And put the waxy side against it. And then you're going to run your butterflies through once this way in the corner, and then once that way, because you have two cards, so you'll need to do it twice. Now with the butterflies, I just kind of alternate. I put the bigger, now I got sticky there. Get that sticky off. I'm going to use my adhesive eraser. This is a really good tool for this kind of thing, to erase that sticky. Otherwise it'll be sticking the whole video. Okay, so what I want to do is the bigger butterfly, and you can see the paper came off, so most of these the paper already came off, so it's going to be real easy to put them on the card. So I want the big one, I want it about, well, you know, it's probably better to go ahead and put this in place, go ahead and put this in place, which means we'll have to do our ribbon. So get your piece of ribbon out and curl it up on the end like this, and stick it through the hole. Face it away from you. Leave about 1.5 inches, and then you're going to bring it around like this, and then you're going to put it through. So basically around and then through like that, and then you're going to pull it tight. So we're going to pull this tight like this, but not too tight, because we want to have a little bit of a bump there. And then we're going to take our snips, and we're just going to, let's see, how do I think I'll do it angled this way. Just cut that off a little bit. And what we're going to do is put this on our card front, and we want to put it up a little bit, so we're going to use dimensionals. And I had to get a new pack of dimensionals because I used up all my dimensionals that I had. And these are really great. I love these Stampin' dimensionals. And you get a whole lot of them when you purchase them. So let's see, I'm going to use about maybe 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, and 1 in the middle. And we're going to place this about 1/2 inch from the edge of the Very Vanilla, and about 3/4 inch from the top. So right about there. Looks good. That looks good. And that will help us with our placement of our butterflies as we go around. And so back to our butterflies. Now they have some sticky on them, so I'm going to get a piece of release paper and put them out on that. And then we're just going to, I'm going to put the bigger ones here and then kind of smaller ones on the outer edges. So let's see, I'll put that one there, that one there, and we're going to alternate it. So I'm just trying to make it look like they're kind of flying around the oval there. Put that one here. And this last little one we'll put up there. So it's kind of like a zigzag. Now we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to use the Very Vanilla. We're going to put snail all along the back of the smaller piece of Very Vanilla that's included. Waxy side against the adhesive, and then we want to make sure we have room for 2. Cut cut 2 for the second card. I just find this the easiest way to apply these little butterflies. And it's hard to tell with the Very Vanilla if the release paper came off or not. So I just take my piercing tool and kind of push. If it's still on there, it'll come off. If it's not on there, it won't come off. There, I think they're all off now. So we're going to do the same thing with the Very Vanilla butterflies. We'll put the bigger one here next to this bigger one. And we'll put the teeny tiny one up here. All right. So our card is finished. So I almost forgot that we needed to put the ribbon in our flower tags. So we're going to curl our ribbon up in like a U shape and put it through the hole. We want about 1.5 inches there, facing away from us. Take this tag, and I think I'll put this in closer so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to take this end and wrap it around like this. Try to keep it kind of flat in the front. And after you wrap it around, you're going to stick this in through the loop that you just made, like that. And then you're going to turn it around the front and just pull it until you have a nice little knot there in the front. You don't want to pull it too tight. And then just take your scissors or your snips and cut off the tails however long you want it to be. And then you have your tag. Thank you for joining me, and we'll be getting on to card number 5. Be sure to check out my blog, www.carolbcrafts.com. Thanks and have a great day.